Okay. So we got a few categories here. We got already confirmed, definitely in it. If more than one rep from a show is allowed. Sleeper hit, there's a chance. Very unlikely. Cameo, enemy boss fight, and nope. And cause this is a lot of characters here, this is where most of them are gonna be going. Let's get some easy ones out of the way. Let's just grab all the ones that have been confirmed so far. Let's see. Okay. Timmy was in the trailer, he was the narrator, so like, he got confirmed immediately. And I guess Cosmo and Wanda technically as well. They're a package deal as always. Sponge Boy was also in the trailer, so, you know, obviously he's in it. 2012 Leo's the only one that they have on this tier list, so just imagine, it's probably based on the 80s one, but like, you know, that's the one that's here, that's the one that's a Nicktoon. Katara is an interesting pick, but okay. Who was the other one that got confirmed? Oh my god. This is, date of recording is this, so, you know, I don't know how well this is gonna age. Maybe everything that I say ends up being true, maybe nothing I say ends up being true. We shall see. And today they announced Sandy, which, yeah, her voice actress did the announcement, so that makes sense. So that's all the ones we know about. Okay, so we already have Katara, so Aang, there's a chance. God, Barnyard Rep would go hard, but it's not happening. AJ, I think, is a cameo. I think that's a pretty solid one to have in the background, if they let him. I feel like they might add Zim, and if that's the case, I could see the tallest being cameos. Angelica. The thing is, I can see a Rugrats rep. I don't think it's Angelica. I'm gonna put her in unlikely, because I think there's a chance. If not, she gets a cameo, but still. I do not know a lot of Nicktoons characters. I think these are just newer ones. I can see the Anti-Fairies getting a cameo, maybe. Same with Appa, I can also see as a cameo. April O'Neil. The thing is, they put her in Nickelodeon Brawl. That's where my head's at. They like April. They want to use April. I'm gonna put there's a chance. Okay, Hey Arnold is popular enough that I think I'm gonna put him in there's a chance. I don't think Arnold's popular enough nowadays that he used to. That could age horribly, but I think there's a chance. I think Asami is a cameo, maybe. If Sula's in this, she's a boss fight. They are not going to let us play as Azula, but they will let us fight Azula, I think. Because again, I don't know how this is gonna go. They have released a bit of gameplay footage, but I genuinely don't know where this could go. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're the boss fights, I don't know what the enemies are, but we'll see, we'll see. I think Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are gonna have cameos, probably, but I don't think they're gonna be playable. God, I wish. I'd love more Rise rep, but I don't think we're getting that. Mighty B. I think, honestly, sleeper hit. I think if they put her in, genuinely, fantastic choice. Oh, that. If there's anyone that's getting a cameo from the fairies, it's gonna be Binky. Huh? Binky and Jorgen, I think, are two of the earlier, like, oh, there's a lot of fairies. I know more about the Fairly OddParents than I should, considering I like the show, but not that much. You know what I mean? It's not like a hyperfixation or anything. But for some reason, I am cursed with knowledge when it comes to this show. Even the fact that I know that his name is Binky. Normal people don't know this. Casual viewers do not remember that. I do. I am cursed. Cat Scratch, honestly, that's a sleeper. I'm gonna put this down as a sleeper hit. You know what? That's a sleeper hit to me. It's very unlikely. I'd love a Cat Scratch rep. Bulby, funny as hell cameo if they let him in. Bolin, I'm gonna put down under unlikely. Like, we're getting a Korra rep, right? And I think it's just gonna be Korra. But I think, like, if you're gonna get, like, another Korra rep, it'll probably be, like, Tenzin, maybe? Oh, who do you even get from... Mako, maybe? Who was popular from Korra? Oh, no. Oh, no, my bias. I don't remember. Oh well, we'll get there. Box Ghost is the cameo character ever. Oh my god, it's been years. Oh, I don't remember any of the names from anyone in my life as a teenage robot besides from Jenny. Oh no. Oh, I think he's a cameo if we're getting anything from Jenny, but... Oh no. Bubble Bass funny as hell cameo though. That's a good one. Would they let Bunsen in? I'm gonna put him under unlikely. I think there's a chance. Not a big one. I really don't, but there's a better chance for us to get Bunsen than there is for us to get, like, Abby from Back at the Barnyard, you know? I'd love a Back at the Barnyard rep, don't get me wrong. If I could run around as Otis, I would. But I don't think it's happening. And that's just me having to be honest. Cabbage Merchant's a cameo. That's the cameo character from Avatar. Carl. The thing is, if there's 2 reps from Jimmy, it's not gonna be Carl. But I won't count him out. I'll say there's a better chance of us getting Carl than there is getting Bunsen. But I'm gonna say chances are low. Cat Dog. They have Dog on here as well. I'll move them. They have to be together, right? You can't separate them. And I think I'm gonna put them in Sleeper Hit only because, yes, they're in Brawl, right? But it's transferring them to the D&D setting that's making me, like, scratch my head and be like, whatever they do, I think if they are included, Sleeper Hit. They're gonna be awesome. I just don't know how you do it. Do you know how awesome? It's not going to be. I am so sad that I have to put this in Nope. But a Making Fiends rep would be so good. It'd be awesome. I'm so sad that we're not getting that. Chester. I'm putting him right next to AJ because if they're getting a cameo, they're coming in together. I think I'm biased towards Fairly OddParents because I'm staring here at Chip Scarlet and I'm like, oh, clearly they're gonna give him a cameo. How? How would they do that? Are you sure about that? No, they wouldn't. Because this is a fantasy setting, and you can kind of hand-wave maybe Chester and AJ being in there. You can hand-wave the fairies being in there as either enemies or they're, like, cameos, right? How do you translate Chip Scarlet to the D&D setting? I don't think it's possible. Chucky is a hard one. The Rugrats rep from last time... When I say last time, I'm mostly referring to All-Stars Brawl. The rep for Rugrats was Reptar. But I don't think they do Reptar this time around. I think it's going to be one of them. He's not going to be the first pick, so I'm just going to put him in if there's more than one rep allowed. I think I'm going to move Angelica up on that to there's a chance then. Just with that logic, I think Angelica goes up to maybe. Fanboy and Chum Chum got to be in the same spot. And I think that they are very unlikely. Very funny to include them, but I don't think they're completely out of the question. Cindy is regulated to cameo, is what I've noticed in every single Nicktoons game. She's never been playable. She will be a cameo, if she's allowed in at all. Which stinks. Cindy's great, but not in the video game setting, apparently. Maybe Cupid makes a cameo? I'll put him right... I might demote... Because it feels weird putting Binky up here and not Cupid. You know what? I might just downgrade both of them. I don't think either of them actually. Rethinking it, right? If there's gonna be a fairy cameo, I think I'm downgrading the anti-fairies as well. I'm realizing, yeah, my Fairly OddParents bias, because maybe Chester and AJ? Maybe, but I struggle to think that they would include any of these 4 over someone like Jorgen or the Tooth Fairy. Because they had more episodes. They're more memorable. I'm sorry. Like, the most memorable one out of all of, like, Cupid and the Aunties I remember, but, like, who's gonna remember Pinky? Okay. Angry Beavers. Angry Beavers definitely has a rep. Oh no, my knowledge. What are the name of the beavers? It's... Oh my god. Their names are Daggett and No, they're not. Daggett and Norbert. Are you serious? Yeah, no, I was never guessing that in a million years. Okay. Okay, so that's Daggett. There's Norbert. Okay. I'm gonna... Same thing with Cat Dog. I think Sleeper Hit is what I'm gonna go with for Daggett and Norbert. Because I can see them including them. Angry Beavers is actually beloved, and they do reference Angry Beavers every once in a while, right? So I can see them getting in. Just again, I think really hard to translate that. I can see one of them make it in. Maybe both in a, like, Ice Climbers kind of situation, but that's a hard one. That's a hard one to translate to D&D as well. Alright, yeah, we know he's definitely in it. There's no way they have a Nicktoons game and do not include a Danny goddamn Phantom. There's no shot. He is in it. I will be surprised if he's not. I don't know what kind of class they'll give him, but they were able to make it work for Sandy and Katara. They'll find something for Danny. Hi Dib. You're getting in if they're not picking Zim. Okay, I don't really believe in this. Funny as hell if they let Dinkelberg have a cameo. Dirty Bubble I can see having a cameo. I can see him translating very well. Honestly, he might be a boss fight, now that I think about it, now that I'm talking about it more. I can see Dirty Bubble translating to D&D boss very easily, actually. And there's not a lot of work they need to put into it either. That's a sentient bubble. You don't gotta do anything. Donnie. I would love to have Donnie. I don't think he'd be their secondary pick. I think all of the turtles have a chance. Leo already being in it has lowered all of the others' chances. I'm gonna put him in there as a chance. I think I'm just biased. I have every inclination to put Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, in cameo. Look, I got opinions about Butch Hartman, but like...
So, good luck.
I'll give it to him. His side characters are extremely memorable, to me at least. Like, I am sitting here struggling to remember the names of, like... We just heard me struggle to remember the name of the goddamn Angry Beavers, and yet I'm here like, oh yeah, Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, the Evil Dentist, Crimson Chim, Binky, Cupid, the Anti-Fairies. That's Crocker's mom right there. I can see Elmer right there. There's Foop. Like, I know too much. I know too much. Get me out of here. I love a tough puppy ref, quite honestly. And I won't completely count it out. It's kind of like Cat Scratch. I can maybe see it, but I don't think so. But I would love it. I'm not like a hardcore tough puppy defender, but I do think it was popular enough that it deserves it. It has forever affected the way I pronounce chameleon. I have to actively try not to say chameleon. Okay. The thing is, with Manny, right? Or El Tigre, I guess is the placement here, or name, is that I think I am just on Izzy Bubbles' propaganda, because I see him here and I'm like, oh, of course he's in it. Yeah, he's like one of the main guys. But I think that is just that's just one of my favorite, like, Nicktoons artist propaganda getting to me. Like, is he actually a shoo-in? I don't know. And I don't think so. But every part of me is just like, yeah, of course he is. But, like, no, he's not. I think Sleeper Hit is the correct placement here, but I want him to be definitely in it. I am not immune to propaganda. If you do not follow Is Bubbles, there's their art thing on screen. There's their handle. Wow, their stuff's good. Go look at it. I think Sleeper Hit. I don't know if Eliza's the one they're gonna pick, though, because they love Nigel for some reason. Okay, Calamitous, I can see them working in as a boss fight. If they're gonna have a Jimmy rep, which I think they are, Calamitous is gonna be in as their big enemy guy. There's a lot of Loud House characters that have been popping up, and I'm gonna be so real. There's probably a Loud House rep, but I have not seen the Loud House. Never intend to. Sorry. So, I don't know. Shrimply, I don't know which one would end up in it. Dutchman gets a cameo. I think that's a lock. I think that's an easy one to work in. Ghosts inside a D&D campaign is so easy. That's gonna happen. Okay, I know what I already said about the anti-fairies, but Foop kinda transcends the anti-fairies at some point. And it just becomes just a reoccurring antagonist that, like, works with Crocker and stuff, so I still think he's not in it. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in no. But it's a I'm ready to be proven wrong no. I'm putting Fred in cameo only because I don't know if they're gonna be able to stop themselves from having his voice cue in there somewhere. God, I'd love a Back of the Barnyard rep. Gary gets a cameo. Gary definitely gets a cameo if he's gonna be in it. Gaz, I think, also gets a cameo. because I think Dib's gonna be playable. I don't think Gaz will be playable. I'm willing to be proven wrong on that, but I think only one of the siblings will be. In that same vein, I think Gur is also a cameo. I don't think they'll be able to resist including Gur, just because of markability's sake. Goddard. Oh, Goddard. I hope you're a cameo. This is more me hoping than anything else. I'd love to see Goddard. Gordon. I think all of the Cat Scratch fellas I'm gonna have in the same place. I think that's a fair place to put them. I think Hugh is unlikely. I don't think there's no chance, but if I remember correctly, they put him in Brawl. So I don't think there's no chance, but I think the chances are low. I can actually see a moveset for him, actually. That's not... I'm moving Q up. I think, yeah, there's a chance it's probably the best place for him. Would they have an All Real Monsters rep? I think I'm gonna put him at There's a Chance. Uncle Iroh, I can actually see as a cameo. Just because Katara's already in it, we already know that there's gonna be Avatar rep, so I can see cameo, maybe. Jenny. Jenny's in it. I think we can all agree on that. Jenny's in it. I think some of the enemies, if I remember correctly, are based on those, like, bug aliens that I remember seeing in a few episodes. I'm very confident about Jenny. Jimmy. Jimmy's also definitely in it. You cannot have a Nicktoons game without the core 4. Okay, you can, but that's just because Timmy was in copyright jail for years. I'm glad they released him. I'm glad he's free. Jorgen is a cameo. I think that's a lock. Korra, huh? Listen, I am very vocal about the fact that I am not a fan of Korra. Both the character and the series. That's just personal bias. Like, it's a well-made show, you know, I understand all the things that went into it, I understand a lot of things that went into it. I just don't like Korra. Now's not the time or the place for me to expand on that. But, that being said, Korra's in the game. No way she's not. Because they do consider these two, The Last Airbender and Korra, are two different series. As you can see in most things, they will get ones from both, if they can. So I think Korra is definitely in this, if they're gonna have a Korra rep. I don't think they give one to Libby, though. I think Cindy maybe makes a cameo, but I don't think Libby does, unfortunately. Just, they don't have a tendency to include Libby in a lot of the games I've noticed. As a Nicktoons expert, clearly. Ignore the fact I couldn't remember the name of the beavers. Okay, like I said, I don't know a lot about Loud House, but I'll throw him down in unlikely and leave it there, just to cover my bases. Is that Mako? I think that is Mako. I'll put him, honestly, right next to Bolin. We keep the brothers together, as we're doing here. We keep all the brothers together. Man Ray, I'm gonna put right next to Dirty Bubble, because I think they're the same breed. I think Dirty Bubble is more likely. There's Mermaid Man. Let's put him next to Barnacle Boy. We gotta keep the duos together. Mikey. I see. Okay. I think Mikey's... If we're gonna get a second turtle, I think Mikey is the most likely one that we get. I'm using the 2012 ones, by the way, because I think that's the design they're gonna kind of keep with more. I don't think they're gonna use the Rise designs as much as I adore the Rise designs. But Mikey, I think if more than one rep is allowed, I think they're letting Mikey in. That might also be my Mikey bias. He's my favorite turtle. You so f***ing precious when you smile. But still, you never know. Momo, speaking of duos, he's gotta be right next to Aqua. That's a duo. Crocker's a cameo or a boss fight, I think. And I think I'm gonna go with boss fight. If you're gonna grab a bad guy from the Fairly Odd Parents, you're gonna grab Crocker. That is an awful picture for him, actually. Why did they pick that? No, Crocker is not a very flattering character, but why did they do him like that? That's so rude. Oh, Krabs. Krabs is cameo or unlikely? I think They don't like to use him as a fighter. I think he's just cameo. Okay. Nigel, I think I'm gonna put right next to Eliza. I think either one of them could work, but they seem to have... It's Gamer Mill, because it's not the same guys that developed Brawl, but seems like the people that make the Nicktoons games have a fondness for Nigel, or are just aware of the memes and want to put him in for some reason. Either or. Otis, I wish. Otis, I wish. But no. They're not cool like that. Rocket Power Rep could actually, I think that's a sleeper hit. I don't think they do it, but I think it'd be cool. Them acknowledging Rocket Power in the year of our Lord 2025 would be sick as hell. Okay. If we're gonna get another SpongeBob rep, it's gonna be Patrick. I think that's a fair assessment. Plankton's a boss fight. If we're not getting either of these two, we're getting Plankton. Would they let Poof in? No, right? I'm gonna say no. They're not gonna let the baby play D&D. Right? No. No, I don't think so. Okay. Pulcher would actually go hard as a boss fight. I just don't think they're gonna do it. A lot of this is just trying to balance what I think would be cool versus what they're actually gonna do. Raph, I think, goes next to Donnie. I think there's a chance for these two. Why did I not put them with April? Okay, there we go. I think any of these turtle reps, there's a chance, but I think there's a higher likelihood of Mikey, because we already have Leo, so I think maybe we get one more turtle. If we get another turtle at all. I'm gonna put Reggie up next to Otto, right? Do I remember their names, actually? Reggie, Otto, Sam, and... Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Maurice. Maurice is the one I couldn't remember. Reggie, Otto, Sam, and Maurice. Okay. I was close. But I think if they have if they have a Rocket Power rep, it's gonna be Otto or Reggie. I don't think it's gonna be Maurice or Sam. Ren and Stimpy. I think they have one or the other. And I'm gonna put my vote on Ren because I think they can have him be like a Berserker class or something. I'm gonna put him in There's a Chance. And then I'm gonna put him in Unlikely. Rocco. Okay. Rocco, I think, has a pretty good chance. I think probably in Sleeper Hit. I don't know what kind of moveset or class they could give him, but I think he'd be an interesting pick. Sam's getting a cameo. I don't think I need to explain this, but if Danny's here, she's getting a cameo. And you know what? Where's Tucker? Might as well get them both up there. If Danny's here, Sam and Tucker probably get a cameo. I can see them letting Sheen in. Quite honestly, I think I'm confident enough in it that I'm putting him in more than one rep. I think there's a chance for Carl, but if they're gonna let anyone else in, I think they're gonna pick Sheen. Because I think they can do more with him in a D&D setting than they can with Carl. Shredder. Shredder's a boss fight if I've ever seen one. They gotta have Shredder. So, I'm indecisive about this, because there's two Danny Phantom villains that I can see working as boss fights here, right? And it's either Vlad Plasmius... Plasmius? Plasmius. It's either Vlad, or it's gonna be Skulker. And I feel a lot more confident in Vlad than I do Skulker. Skulker? Oh my god. It's been forever since I've seen Danny Phantom. Now I don't know if I know how to pronounce names anymore. No, anyway, I don't think he's in it. Here's the thing. I already put Rudy in no, but I think Snap, actually, would be a really fun pick. I think Rudy's a sleeper hit. I don't know how much they want to acknowledge Chalk Zone existed, because I loved Chalk Zone as a kid, and they do tend to like to include kind of meme characters sometimes, like characters that have like things going on in the internet, and I think Snap definitely qualifies because of the whole Rudy, you gotta draw something! I think there's a chance. Oh, Sokka, my boy. I'm so sorry. I think you're a cameo. As much as I love Sokka, I don't think they're letting him in. Here, I'll put him next to Alpha and Momo. Would they let Splinter in? I think Splinter is probably just a cameo. I don't think I can get him higher than that. Squidward is a cameo. They will never let Squidward be playable in something like this. Even in Battle for Volcano Island, when he was one of the chosen heroes, they did not let him in. I do not think they will let him in here. Cameo, though. Funny as hell if they were to let Tack in. I don't think they will. Funny as hell, though. I was talking about Tenzin earlier, but quite honestly, thinking it over, no, I don't think he fits into this as well as I thought. Because it is a D&D thing. I just don't think Tenzin matched the vibe. He's the best character in Korra, but I don't think he fits in with SpongeBob in this instance. I think if they're gonna let a Rugrats rep in, I think it's gonna be Tommy. I think this is our Rugrats rep. I know what I said about they wouldn't let the baby in earlier, but I think that's the baby they're letting in. I can't not put Toph at least in Sleeper Hit. They love using Toph, and people love seeing Toph. I can't... We already have Katara, but I don't know. I can't not put Toph as a possibility. Would there be an Ultra Lord cameo? No, right? I'm gonna go with no for now, but I can see them doing it in there somewhere, especially if Sheen makes it in. Okay, if Jenny's in it, I can see... Like, this was like the alien queen or whatever, if I remember right. It's been so long since I've seen Jenny. Or, yeah, My Life as a Teenage Robot. But I can see it. I'm very much not confident about that one, but I can see it. There we go. There's our Danny Phantom rep for the boss category. Vlad Plasmius. I just want to learn how to pronounce his name.
How are you doing all this?
Angry. I just want to learn how to pronounce it. Whatever. Don't care. Stopped caring. I keep seeing Rise characters, and I'm like, oh man, I missed that show. It was good. It was really good. I miss it. Zim.
What?
I am decently confident that they'll let Zim in. I think Zim is a very good pick for this kind of thing. I feel pretty good about it. When he was in Globs of Doom, I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. And then I didn't play a lot of Globs of Doom. But, neat concept. Zuko. It's my Avatar bias. I'm sorry. But I also... Where did I put Toph? I gotta put him right next to Toph. I like the Avatar characters a lot. I'm very biased. It's so hard for me to put Sokka in cameo, but I don't think they're putting one of the non-benders. Oh, maybe. Wait. Because he has the boomerang. He has the sword. Okay. I've just talked myself into moving Sokka up there as well. There's a chance! Okay. I think that's all of it. Let me, like, scroll out a little bit. Because the ones in the know really don't matter. This is the part that matters. My lack of knowledge on newer Nicktoons is definitely showing, but I feel decent about this. Not good, but I think I got a few hits. We'll see in the future. Yeah, I guess that's it. This is my final say on it. This is what I think, and I guess we'll see in the fall if I'm proven right. Also, please prove me wrong and put a Barnyard character in, please! Okay, so this video took a little bit longer to come out than intended, but we're gonna really quickly just go through everyone that's been announced since recording, just to cover the bases. No, okay, I was never gonna guess that. Okay, so there are boss fights. And I was right! Yeah, you know, I can't really feel good about that one. It's like, duh. Sure? You know, I probably should have guessed her. She was in Brawl. She's not a villain. What is she doing here? Okay, Jenny I'm actually pretty happy about, not gonna lie. She looks so cute. God damn it, I was right. I shouldn't have moved him. Ah! And I think that's everything. If something gets announced between me recording this and release, I'm gonna be pissed, but it's fine. Okay, that's the end of the video for real this time. Hopefully gonna be making more in the future. A lot of this was just kind of a test run to get back in the video making groove, and hopefully we have more coming soon. Alright, bye-bye!